So greetings and happy Thanksgiving to those of you in the U.S. Um, I do love this time of year. I think, and most people do, right? Consider the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas to be sort of the holiday season. And to me, there's a really cool vibe to it all, sort of a magical, almost surreal quality. You get the food and the lights and shopping and holiday TV specials, all that crap. Which and I don't watch many holiday TV specials anymore, but all the rest of it is certainly is part of that holiday sort of that holiday season and holiday vibe that I do appreciate. As a kid, I have very fond memories of Christmas. Um, the gifts, of course, you love a good Christmas gift. And we didn't have a ton of money, but my parents did okay, and I was an only child, so I the gifts were always on. Their gift giving game was on point. I did not want for anything over the holidays. More important than that, though, we lived pretty close to my grandparents, and every holiday season was a just a mass of massive family get-togethers. That's an awkward sentence. A ton of really big family get-togethers. a massive. No, lots of very big family get-togethers. So my cousins would be there, and they were just a little bit younger than me, but similar age, similar interests and age. Hosts of great uncles and aunts and second cousins, right? Whole extended family would be there, and just to tell you, picture a gaggle of middle aged Italian men and women, all smoking and drinking beer and playing penny poker and getting way too competitive about the penny poker. and Right, and jingling change and handing out quarters like that, the whole thing. And kids were everywhere. Um, and the food was freaking ridiculous. It was incredible. Um, the meals, of course, cavatelli and ham and turkey and stuffing and artichokes. Just tons of good food. But even the snacks sort of stepped up their game with my grandmother's house was stocked with bowls of pistachios, and there were cookies everywhere, and Torrones, which are little nougat candies with almond in them. And not that you can't just go to an not now that I'm an adult, I realize that I can drive 10 minutes to an Italian grocery and buy a box of Torrones. But when I was a kid, I did not realize that these things did not come directly, you know, from a reindeer's rear end. So like we only had them at Christmas. So it was just this magical thing that appeared at Christmas. Um, no other candies did that. Just Torrones. Um, so I did truly, those were very good memories that I have of the holidays. And of course, time passes and people move and you grow up and people die. Entropy is ever present in the universe, and against it, wonderful things take a lot of energy to preserve. Um, and ultimately, I think for my family, once my grandfather died, I think I was in ninth-ish grade or thereabouts, that energy sort of disappeared, right? Um, and over the years, it wasn't immediate. It wasn't like, oh, we stopped gathering, but over the years, those amazing holiday gatherings got smaller with less people and shorter until at some point they sort of withered away, and maybe you were stopping at the house for a short visit, sort of out of obligation, and just that magic was gone for good. Um, and I know that when I was older and we had kids, little kids, I'd have to sort of drag them to my grandmother's house over the holidays. It's kind of sad to see that a place that had brought me, all that joy as a kid was actually sort of a chore for them. Because by then, that vibe was gone. That those people didn't show up anymore, or couldn't show up anymore, or and so and we didn't really carry the torch very well, frankly. Um, as an adult with mostly adult children, one of my biggest regrets is that I always worry that I did not do a good enough job at giving my kids those same sort of childhood memories that I had. Those awesome holiday traditions that were very, so beloved and well remembered, had mostly evaporated, by the time my kids, and certainly by the time my younger ones, would have been able to enjoy them. They were gone. And we never quite created anything to take their place. And frankly, we never really thought about it. Like, it wasn't something that, my wife and I sat down and said, well, we need to make a tradition so that the kids have a thing to. It never really crossed our minds. And you just don't realize that this stuff is going away, and then all of a sudden, it's gone. And then only years later did I sort of look back and think, man, I sort of wish my kids had some of those same stories, but they don't, and they won't. Now, from a gift perspective, I'm a gamer. My kids have always, benefited from that in terms of Christmas gifts, you know. And with my kids, my parents were no less indulgent with them as they were with me. So my kids have always been, well accounted for in terms of Christmas gifts and video games and all that crap. But I only remember one or two of my Christmas gifts ever, out of however many years. Um, it was the Atari, and we'll talk about that some other day. But greatest gift ever is the Atari 2600. But I worry that aside from that, they might have some vague memories of a Christmas gift they might have gotten one year or another, but otherwise not really have much to latch onto as they move into adulthood and then into middle aged and beyond. They don't have no Italian men jingling their change in their pockets and handing out quarters. No smoky poker games, no covertly given sips of beer, and no Tyrones. I mean, we could go buy Tyrones for them, but they were magic. um, I said I don't have a great ending to this video. I don't have a set of 5 tips to make sure your kids have great holiday memories right after we get talk from our sponsor, BetterHelp. No, I don't have that, and I'm not sponsored by BetterHelp. And if I got a sponsor, it damn well better be a whiskey distillery. So, no, I just, though I do love this time of year, I also get a tiny bit melancholy, partly because I start thinking about things like this. And it just so happened that I was looking at my demographics on the channel, and I saw that the vast majority of you folks who do happen to tune in, not a lot, let's understand, I get it, but that's fine. But folks that do tune in, are not exactly my age. They're either a cohort less than me or 2 cohorts younger than me. So that would put people in 25 to 35, 35 to 45 sort of brackets. And that's by and large, like, that's everybody. And I thought, I'm gonna pull an Ebenezer Scrooge here. I'm gonna give you a Ghost of Christmas Past and a Ghost of Christmas Future kind of thing. So this is my attempt at sending that message in a bottle back to my younger selves, y'all. if you have kids, if you're having kids, just don't underestimate the power of that holiday tradition and those gatherings, um, to really drive home those happy memories for your kids, right? Do something with them that's going to be memorable. We're gamers, so my attempt at that, as lame as it is, I would try to whip out that epic board game, right? I take a couple days off. I'm gonna pull out the Magic Realm and force those damn kids to play, and we're gonna play. Or if you like Twilight Imperium, or get the old Alex Guinness Civ game and play for the whole weekend, because that's how long it takes about. Run that silly 5e Christmas themed adventure with all the kids. Or if your kids aren't tabletop gamers, I'm thankfully all my kids ended up with that, so I am very thankful for that. But if your kids aren't, let them beat your ass in Mario Kart tournament or something. Or our family's favorite late night indulgence is Dokapon Kingdom. Look it up if you've never heard of it. Great game. And if they're too young, they don't have to play. They can just let them sit on your lap and soak in the atmosphere, eat a snack, sneak in that sip of beer. And damn it, Tyrones are magical. Go buy a box. You will love them. So, happy holidays, folks. I cannot tell you how thankful and grateful I am for those of you that come on and watch these videos and come to streams and chat with me. Let's do it again very soon, hopefully tonight even. And otherwise, have a good Thanksgiving. And if I don't talk to you before then, a good holiday. Thank you very much.